it's amazing that we used to think that like all these things, all this knowledge would lead to enlightenment, and the absolute fucking opposite has happened. It's so
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well,
And
I think it's our human arrogance, particularly, people who perceive themselves as intellectuals. They think that they're not vulnerable to propaganda. And in fact, they're some of the most vulnerable to propaganda because of this arrogance.
mm, yeah, and you see that all the time, like smart
Yeah,
people just taken in by things. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Because the further you go into the realms of theory, you become divorced from truth.
mm, yeah, you're wandering too far from the real world to
Yeah, it's like
actually understand it.
come back, just have a walk on the grass.
Yeah. Like, go and talk to some real people. That's what I think most of the time.
That's another thing with all, one does wonder if some of these people have any interaction with just like normal
Mm,
people because
yeah.
it's like what are you talking about?
Because like people, it's like when people like say they're responding to like comments on Twitter, it's just like, oh, person I love, person I love, person I love, disagreed, bigot, person I love, like, and and
Yeah.
whereas if you're in a room with someone, you can't just I don't know, I'd find it like incredibly uncomfortable if someone said like made a fairly reasonable statement, and then someone just turned around and was like started screaming at them like they would on Twitter, like, you racist, you're the
Yes.
worst person I've ever met, like that just wouldn't happen in real life.
Yes. Right. It's incredibly disturbing. It's incredibly disturbing.
Hmm.
I mean, thankfully, the latest attacks that I've heard have happened against me have been far away from me, and I just don't look at it. I
Yeah.
just cannot look at it. I can't look at it. Like, oh, you've decided you hate me? Why? You don't know me.
Yeah.
You do not know me.
I get a
Bro.
real kick out of it. Like I'll
Do
call
you?
my
Yeah, I,
best
I need to start like getting a kick out of it. Like, yeah, you hate me. Yum.
no, I'll call my best friend, be like, go to this video, like look what they're saying in the comments
Yeah.
section. I'll be cracking up about some person calling me an idiot, and I'm just like, this is amazing. Oh, so yeah,
Oh, I love that, Josh. I'm going to take that.
yeah, it's like there's no other way to like deal with
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
if there's like 500 comments all saying the same like critical point, it's like maybe you've got a point. Maybe there's something to look at. But
Yeah.
most of the time, it's just like shut up. Like, like most of the interactions that I get on my podcast are incredibly positive. It's like
Yeah.
90+% likes and thumbs
Yeah.
up and all this. It's just like, so why the fuck would I get worried about these idiots?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
and
on your t-shirt?
it's the Beatles. Sergeant
Oh,
Pepper.
wonderful. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad you wore that today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to put a shirt on, but it's too hot.
The disrespect.
Sorry. I mean, and yeah, all my, I've had like 3 interviews in a row with like people who are really, really like highly respected in their field, like scientists, professors and stuff. So I put shirts on for all of them, and I've been sat there just like sweating. And I was like, no, it's the middle of the day. It's 30 degrees. I can get away with a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, it was the right t-shirt.
Yeah, I recently went to Liverpool actually for the first time in my like adult life, and like went to the Cavern Club for the first time, and like into the Sergeant Pepper store, and yeah, I was just like in
So,
awe.
yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Their music has really been inspiring me a lot lately. Like
Oh,
a
really?
lot. Been listening to a lot of the Beatles lately. Don't know why. It's just, yeah.
All you need is love. That's what it is.
Yeah. I love George Harrison. I really love George Harrison.
Oh, is that your favorite Beatle?
Perhaps, yes.
What's your favorite Beatles record?
Oh gosh. The songs that I've been listening to a lot lately have been You're Gonna Lose That Girl, Here, There, and Everywhere.
Mm,
And then oh my gosh, My Sweet Lord, George Harrison,
mm,
My Sweet Lord.
yeah,
So beautiful.
it's a great song.
Beautiful.
Mm,
I need to go to India. I really want to go to India.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I'd
It
love to go.
feels like travel's like a little bit weird. Like outside of Europe, I feel like less set than I used to. I feel like normally I would have had zero issues just being like, okay, let's go. And now I'm like, ooh, what if everything falls apart again and I'm stuck somewhere like miles away? Like Europe, I can get home from. Like I could fucking walk if I need to. Like,
Oh my gosh,
you all right?
this butterfly just did you see that?
It's the spirit of George Harrison coming to welcome you,
Yeah,
reincarnate.
and it's so beautiful as well. It's got like 4 eyes on it. Wow.
So I'd like to go back a little bit to, we were talking there about this arrogance, like a human arrogance, and like the idea that we might, yeah, that people are missing things, and that like our trust in our own, like, yeah, well, when we have all the knowledge, we'll obviously make all the right decisions and believe all the correct information.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of a conversation I had on Wednesday that will be out tomorrow, actually, with this guy called Gerald Schroeder, who's written like I can't count how many books about like the convergence of science and religion, like where like spirituality and science meet, basically. So he's written a lot. His books are like What God Says About God is the one I'm like listening to the audiobook at the minute, but like it's talked a lot about how we have the arrogance to state that humans can create their own moral truths, and that then society will be amazing. And that like his contention is that if you look at history, the evidence isn't really in our favor, because people say that like religion has caused a lot of death and destruction and war, and then you look at what happened when you know nations have abandoned some sort of religion and decided to create their own like moral code and truth, and that ends in even more like like you look at Nazi Germany, Stalin's Russia, communist China, like Cambodia, like there's no shortage of examples where when these, I don't know what it is, these underlying like moral laws or truths get cast aside in favor of new ones, that we seem to just like descend into like, well, everything's sweet, like murder them, they can die, send them to the gulags, like and you know, I'm listening to it and be like, he kind of has a point, like, and like, do you think that this age of intuition will take us back towards more of those like like moral values that like religion like previously like taught us in society?
Yeah, I hope so. And I think that people are really crying out for it because they're struggling with a moral framework. And that's humbling. It's humbling, you know? And not many people, I mean, no one wants to be humbled really that much, you know? It's like, oh, humble me. Like, but it's actually a wonderful thing to ask God to do, you know? Because then it's like, that's where true wisdom can enter. So, you know, yes, hopefully we're moving into something that's healthier.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment for us in the comments below. Let me know what you thought and if you'd like to see more of this from the show. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time.